When to bluff in poker. Let's talk about bluffing. Bluffing is an act of deception meant to mislead your opponent into thinking you are stronger than you actually are, that your cards are stronger than they actually are. In its simplest form, a bluff is done on the last round of betting to convince your opponent that you have a stronger hand than he has, so he will fold what would have been a winning hand had he called. Here's an example of a simple bluff. The board is 9 of spades, 8 of clubs, 2 of spades, 5 of diamonds, 6 of spades. You have the jack of spades and the 10 of diamonds. You've been calling your opponent's bet, drawing for a straight. You missed your straight when the 6 of spades hit on the river, but the board makes it look like you might have been drawing for and hit a flush. Your opponent checks. The pot is $120. You each have about $300 behind. You bet $60, hoping to make it look like you hit your flush. If your opponent calls, you lose, and your bluff didn't work. If your opponent folds, however, and you win the pot, your bluff succeeds. How do you know whether or not you should attempt a bluff like this? Simply, you need to weigh the chances that your bluff will succeed against the money you will win and the money you bet. If over time you believe your bluff will win you more money than it costs, then you should make your bluff. Here is a simple example of that. Let's use the hand above. Let's say you estimate that it's 50-50 that your opponent will fold to a half pot or larger bet. Does your bluff make sense? Surely it does. You'll win $180 half the time and lose $60 half the time. That's a win of $120 on average, 180 minus 60. That's a good bluff. But how do you make your estimate of how effective your bluff will be in the first place? Generally, you don't want to attempt a bluff against more than one opponent. There are exceptions, but generally not more than one opponent. This is especially true if your opponents are not very skilled or perceptive. If you rate your chances of success at 30% against each one of 3 bad opponents, for example, your chance of succeeding against 3 of them is now 0.3 times 0.3 times 0.3, or just 2.7%. Not a very high percent. Don't bluff against multiple bad players. Bad idea. Second consideration, what has been your recent betting action? Recent betting action. Most players in a public poker room are unlikely to know you or your play, so your immediate image is what's important, and it is shaped more by recent action than by a long-standing image you think you might have. Third consideration, do you appear lucky? Yes, we know that luck only exists retrospectively and plays no part in whether you are likely to win a showdown. Yes, we know that luck is largely an imaginary thing, but other players are often superstitious and believe that their opponents are running hot or running cold, making it more or less likely that the next hand will be a winner for them. If you appear to be lucky to those folks, your more superstitious opponents may be less likely to call you for fear that you are hot and more likely to win. Fourth, is your opponent feeling fatalistic? Players sometimes reach a level of losing that makes them almost invite complete defeat. This is sometimes when they have lost a large percentage of their stack or bankroll. They start to feel that they are bound to lose, and they embrace the futility of their play. It's almost like they want to lose. When an opponent is in this state, bluffing usually does not work, as they almost want to throw in their remaining chips to be put out of their misery. So don't attempt to bluff against a fatalistic opponent. 5, are they getting ready to leave the table? Players sometimes start to stack their chips or otherwise indicate that they are leaving the table either for the day, for dinner, or for some other reason. When they do this, they are more likely to be bluffed, as they don't want to get involved in a hand unless they are really far ahead and likely to win in their mind. This is also true when they're on the phone, playing a video game, or involved in a conversation with another player. They're often looking for an excuse to get out of the hand and leave, so a bluff gives them a chance to do that.